All right, guys, here we go. You guys ready? All right, so they tell us that A and B are positive acute angles, and they tell us that sine A is 5/13 and tan B is 8/15. They want us to find sine of A minus B. So we've been calling these composite argument properties, but they're also known as angle sum and difference formulas. Excuse me. Why are they known as angle sum and difference? Well, because look, we're finding the difference of some angles. Cool or not cool?
Was that a joke?
No, it wasn't a joke. Sorry. All right, here we go. You guys are funny. You guys are all full of jokes today. So I have some angle. Here's angle A. And angle A creates, what's up, miss? I don't even know. Oh, there it is. There you go.
Thank you.
Angle A, and it says sine A is 5/13. So 5/13. Cool or not cool? All right, because hopefully you'll recognize this is one of the properties. So this is either 12, or if you don't see that it's 12 immediately, you can always do 13 squared minus 5 squared, and you're going to get the square root of 144, which is 12. Yay? All right, so now, bless you, or salud. All right, this angle here is B, and they tell us that tan B is 8/15, so this has to be 8, that has to be 15. Are we okay so far? So you can just do square root of 8 squared plus 15 squared, and you will get 17, so I'm going to put 17 right there. And now we know that we got to expand this. So it's saying sine of A minus B. So this is all we've been doing last week. So sine of A minus B is, let's see, do you remember what that formula is? Sine A, cosine B, plus or minus? No, minus. There's a sine. Cosine A, sine B. Sine A, cosine B minus cosine A, sine B. Yay or nay? All right, from there we're going to get our answers. So here we go. Here's A. Sine A was already given. I'm going to write it here, 5/13. So I need cosine A. Cosine A is adjacent over hypotenuse, so that's 12/13. And then I need I need cosine A. So here in blue, cosine A is 15/17. And I need sine A. I'm going to write it here on the bottom. Sine A is 8/17. Oh, yeah. Those are both B's. My apologies. I'll see if I can slow down here. Sorry that I'm rewriting. Okay. Now we're perfectly good. Are we cool, guys? All right. So now we're good. I don't see any errors. So let's see. Sine A is 5/13. Cosine B, that's the other guy, that's 15/17. Cosine A, I look over here, cosine A is 12/13. And then sine B is 8/17. And then I just type this in my calculator. Let's see, 5/15, 13. I'm all wrong today. 15/17. Math fraction. 75/221 minus 12 and 8. 11 and 8, 88. So 96. 96/221. And then the difference between 75 and 96, 75, 85, 95, that's 21. Negative because the 96 is bigger over 221. And there it is. That's the answer. How do we feel, guys? Yeah.
We have to break it down.
You can probably just do it all in one shot. All right. Let's go to the next one. Let me take a little bit of Red Bull. This lesson has been sponsored by Red Bull. No, it hasn't. I take it back. All right. Cosine A is 24/25 and tan B is 20/21. And angles A and B are in quadrant 1. Find the value of tan A plus B. So on this one, guys, before I even start, I'm going to define what tan A plus B is. It's okay if you don't have it memorized, guys, because this is one that I will probably tell you in advance or probably write it out somewhere. So tan A plus B is tan A plus tan B over 1 minus tan A tan B. So get up to there. All right, they already give us tan B, so there's no reason to draw that triangle. But we don't know what tan A is, so I'm going to use this guy. I know that angle A is in quadrant 1, so I'm going to draw quadrant 1. There's my quadrant 1. Angle A is this guy. They're telling me that cosine of this is 24 over 25, so that's 24. This has to be 25. And either you recognize it as one of your special triangles, or you just do square root of 25 squared minus 24 squared. You're going to get square root of 49, so you're going to get 7. I'll wait for you guys to catch up. Are we still okay, guys? All right. From that, I can tell you what tan A is. Tan A is opposite over adjacent, so it's going to be 7 over 24. We have everything we need. So I'm going to leave that there so I can see the formula. So tan of A plus B is nothing more than 7 over 24 plus tan B was 20 over 21. Plus 20 over 21 all over 1 minus 7 over 24 and 20 over 21. Sorry, guys. All right, be very careful how you type this into the calculator. I like to do the numerator by itself and the denominator by itself. 7 over 24 plus 20 over 21. Of course, you can do this by multiplying 7 by 20 and multiplying the 20 by 7 and then just adding them up. 209 over 168. And all that is divided by 1 minus 7 over 24 times 20 over 21. Fraction enter. And I get 13 over 18. Keep, change, flip. 209 over 168 times 18 over 13. And you're going to get 627 over, I don't remember, 364? Thank you, miss. And there it is. How do we feel, guys? You like this? We have a question in here. Oh, wow. I think almost everyone's going to think that this is better than proofs. Than proofs? Even professors are like, oh, this proof. All right. Again, we're still in quadrant. All right, here we go. Example 3. Given that cosine A is square root of 22 over 6 and tan B is square root of 3, and then angles A and B are both in quadrant 1, find the exact value of cosine A plus B. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and draw both of them in quadrant 1 like this. We have two triangles. Here's angle A, and cosine is square root of 22 over 6. So do that real quick.
What did we draw before in this case?
Yeah, I'm going to draw both of them, miss. So I'm looking at the red triangle, and I'm just doing Pythagorean theorem. So the square root of 6 squared minus 22. 6 squared is 36. When I subtract 22, let's see, 36, 26, 16, 14. Square root of 14. It doesn't break down. 7 times 2 is 14. Leave it alone. Square root of 3 squared is 3. 1 squared is 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. What's the square root of 4? That's 2 right there. That should not surprise you. I hope not. All right. This one in red. Cosine A. Well, that one was given. Square root of 22 over 6. And I need sine A. Sine A is opposite over hypotenuse, so square root of 14 over 6. Yay or nay? All right. This one here. Sine B. Sine B is square root of 3 over 2. And then cosine B, that's a half. And that's why you should not be tricked, because those are from the unit circle. Perfect angles. Are we still okay? All right. So now, I want to know what cosine A plus B is. So I'm going to write it over here. So cosine A plus B is cosine A cosine B minus sine A sine B. Cool or not cool? All right, here we go. Cosine A was square root of 22 over 6 times cosine B was 1/2 minus sine A was square root of 14 over 6 and sine B is square root of 3 over 2. So when I multiply that, you get square root of 22 over 12 minus 14 times 3, 15, 15, 15, 45, but there's 3, 42. Square root of 42 over 12. I don't see anything factoring out, so leave it alone. How do we feel? Okay. I don't want you guys to turn into a robot, so I'm going to slow down real quick. I want to talk about this really fast. So everyone put your pencil, well, once you finish writing your notes, put your pencils down. All right. So the whole thing that we're doing here, look what it's saying. We're finding cosine of A plus B, correct? I want to know what this value is in decimal real quick, because my calculator is not as fancy as the TI Inspire. So square root of 22 minus square root of 44. And I'm going to push enter, and I'm going to divide that by 12. So keep this number in your head. Negative 0.16190. Do you guys see that number? Okay. So I want to know if it's true. I'm going to find angle A, and I'm going to find angle B, and I'm going to add them. I'm going to do cosine of A plus B, and I'm going to see if I get this number. Uh-oh.
It's square root of 42 times square root of 44.
Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, I would have, thank you for letting me know, because then I would have been real awkward. Enter, and then that divided by 12. No, thank you for letting me know. Plus 1. You know what? I'm going to remember that. Oh, it's on video. Plus 1. Remind me. And if I don't give you the plus 1 point, just say, Chad, it's on video. You tell me. So.
I'm going to forget.
Don't, you won't. I'll remind you. So keep that number, negative 0.149, in your memory. Cool or not cool? We can always scroll up. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna do arc cosine. Don't just look up there. Don't write anything down. I'm gonna do arc cosine of square root of 22 divided by 6. I'm gonna push enter. So there it is, and that's in degrees. And I'm gonna store that to A, because that's what angle A is. Cool or not cool? And I'm gonna do arc tan of square root of 3. Well, we already know that angle, but I'll do it again. Square root of 3. And whatever this is, I'm going to store into B. Obviously, you guys aren't surprised it's 60 degrees. Store alpha B. So there it is. Cool or not cool? And now I'm going to do cosine of alpha A plus alpha B. And I better get that answer that I got a little while ago. And look at that. Is it the same answer that we just got? Yeah, it is. Cool or not cool? So it's very easy to be a robot, but look, it works. So do you see how we're bridging all the concepts together? Remember, this all started from doing the proof, and then from the proof we derived all these, right? Right. Okay. So now we can continue. This question here, example 4. I put this one here on purpose.
Mr. Chavez,
Yes, ma'am.
we have Jamari. She'll be leaving.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. This question here is from UH. It's probably both on the quiz, but I think this one was from an exam. So those of you that are going to Houston, you're going to Houston, right, Miss Villacana? Oh, you're not going to Houston. I'm sorry, Miss. You guys are going to Houston. I'm sorry, what?
Is there another paper?
Just Delta Math.
Oh.
All right. So here we go. We're going to do this question without a calculator because that's what was expected from those students, and they did it. So when we go to Houston, I don't want you guys to be like, oh my God, those individuals are so smart. No, look, they've just been exposed. They know how to do this. You guys ready? All right, so we read it. Given cosine x is 1/8, and then x is between 0 and 90 degrees. So this means that x is in quadrant 1. Quadrant 1. And cosine y is 1/11, and y is between 270 and 360. So that means quadrant 4. Find cosine x plus y. Okay, they don't have a formula chart, but we don't have a formula chart either. We don't need it. Cosine x plus y is cosine x cosine y plus or minus? Minus sine x sine y. Let's go ahead and do this. Angle x is in quadrant 1, so here's angle x. Angle x, not to scale. My adjacent is 1. My hypotenuse is 8. If not to scale, obviously the 1 should be a lot smaller. Are we okay? All right, 8 squared is what? And when I subtract 1, it is, so this is the square root of 63. But remember, 63 can be broken down 9 times what? 9 times 7. So, 3 square root of 7. Do we see how we got that? All right, here we go. Now I need the second triangle, so I'm going to do it in blue. And this one is in quadrant 4, so there it is, my quadrant 4. And start at the origin. This is angle y. Adjacent 1, hypotenuse 11. The hypotenuse is never negative, guys, because it's like a radius. All right, 11 squared. Do we know what 11 squared is? 121. And when I subtract 1, that is what? So this is negative square root of 120. But now think about it. What times what is 120? Okay, 10 and 12, but I want a perfect square root. So look, what times what is 12? Yeah, 4 and 3, so that means 4 times 30 is 120. Does that make sense to you guys? So this, 4 times 30. So this guy right here turns to negative 2 square root of 30, and the 30 doesn't break down because 6 times 5. Are we okay so far?
Yes.
What's up, guys? Ask. You guys okay? Okay. Here we go. Before I start, I'm going to get my little answers here on the side. Cosine x is 1/8. That was given. Sine x is 3 square root of 7 over 8. On the one on the right, I say cosine y is 1/11. That was given. Sine y is a negative 2 square root of 30 over 11. Are we still okay, guys? Okay. I'm not going to color code it anymore. I'm just going to write down my sequence. Cosine x, 1/8. Cosine y, 1/11. Minus sine x, 3 square root of 7 over 8. Sine y, negative 2 square root of 30 over 11. Chavez, I need a calculator. No, you don't. What is 8 times 11? 88 minus, let's see, negative times a negative is a positive. So I see 3 times 2 is 6. 7 times 3 is 21, but that's a 30. So I'm going to put an extra 0. And over 88. On my denominator is the same. 1 plus 6 square root of 210 all over 88. Look at that. We did it without a calculator. And you can too.
So inspired.
You're funny, miss. Are we cool, guys? All right, was that the last one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So all we're doing today is practicing. So, and this is all we're doing, this over and over and over again. So it's Delta Math, and it's just over and over and over you're practicing this. Relax, the Delta Math ones are easier, bless you. The Delta Math ones are easier than the university ones. Cool? All right, guys, we're done.